The UK's shrinking aid budget, a dangerous gamble with global stability and moral standing. Sir Keir Starmer's Labour government is poised to slash UK overseas aid to its lowest level as a percentage of national income since records began. This drastic reduction, even if partially offset by having the staggering £4.5 billion cost of housing asylum seekers, signals a concerning shift in Britain's global priorities and has sparked outrage among leading NGOs. The implications extend far beyond mere budgetary concerns. They raise critical questions about the UK's commitment to international development, its moral leadership on the world stage, and the potential for long-term instability fueled by neglect. The NGO's scathing letter to the Prime Minister doesn't mince words. They accuse Starmer of blindly following the dangerously misguided example set by the Trump administration in the US, which effectively froze and sought to dismantle USAID, the U.S. Agency for International Development. This echoes a disturbing trend, a prioritization of short-term national interests over the vital, long-term benefits of international aid and cooperation. The NGOs rightly highlight the false choice presented, a cynical framing that pits national defense against global humanitarian efforts, suggesting a zero-sum game where one must inevitably come at the expense of the other. This is a fallacy. A robust defense strategy is not mutually exclusive with a generous and effective aid program. Indeed, strategic aid can often be a powerful tool in bolstering stability and mitigating conflict, factors that directly impact national security. The fallout within the Foreign, Commonwealth and Development Office, FCDO, is palpable. Whitehall sources reveal a climate of shock and distress among staff who have already endured the traumatic dismantling of their independent department under the previous Conservative government. This erosion of institutional expertise and morale risks undermining the effectiveness of any remaining aid programs, further diminishing the impact of already dwindling resources. The message is clear. The UK's commitment to global development is not simply being reduced, it's being actively dismantled, piece by piece. The pressure on Starmer is immense, extending beyond domestic criticism. European diplomats are urging Foreign Secretary David Lammy to champion a bold initiative, using a portion of the $200 billion, £158.5 billion, in frozen Russian assets to provide crucial aid to Ukraine. This would not only alleviate pressure on the UK's strained aid budget, but also demonstrate a powerful commitment to supporting a nation under brutal assault. It's a strategic move that could simultaneously alleviate financial strain and reinforce the UK's position as a leader in the fight for international justice. However, the reluctance to even consider this option further underscores the government's apparent prioritization of domestic financial concerns over the urgent needs of global partners and vulnerable populations. The consequences of drastically cutting overseas aid are far-reaching and potentially catastrophic. Reduced funding will cripple essential programs combating poverty, disease, and climate change, issues with global ramifications. It will undermine vital development initiatives, jeopardizing progress on critical sustainable development goals and exacerbating existing inequalities. Ultimately, this short-sighted policy risks creating a more unstable and dangerous world, a world where the UK's influence and moral authority are significantly diminished. The question remains, is this a calculated gamble, a strategic retreat from global responsibilities, or simply a failure of political will in the face of complex challenges? The answer, sadly, appears increasingly clear. The UK is abandoning its role as a global leader in development, a choice that carries immense risks for itself and the world.